You deserve to live a life that you are absolutely obsessed with. And I don't mean obsessed and love your life in a superficial way, like you go on Instagram and you post a highlight dump of what you're doing and you love life. I genuinely mean you should love your life so much to the point where every single night you go to bed, you're excited to wake up in the morning because it's a new day and it's a new beginning. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us live life on autopilot, and we just think that the cards that we're handed with is what we have to deal with, and it just has to be that way forever. And I want to let you know that you are so deserving of something so much greater than what you could ever imagine. We all are. And I think it's really important to remind yourself of that. You do create your own reality through the way you think, through your connection with the divine, through the certain habits you take every single day. You ultimately get to change how you want your outer world to be. And of course, there's unforeseen circumstances, and we live in a world of free will where anything can really happen. But there are things that you can do to change your current circumstances. If you're in a point in your life right now where you're not very happy with what you're seeing, you can pick up the pen and start changing the story. And with that being said, hi, my name is Izzy. Welcome to my channel if you're new. And today I kind of just want to talk about things that I've implemented in my life and how I've truly been able to create a life for myself that I am obsessed with. And I may not have everything materialistic wise that I want to create yet, career, money, materialistic items, but I really do love life. And I've gotten to a point where I literally wake up every single day and I'm like, I remind myself of the things that I'm striving for, and I'm like, yes, like today's another day. I have no idea what opportunity is going to come, what miracle is going to be sent my way, and I want to help you guys feel the same way because I think that's only fair. So that being said, let's get into today's video. So I've had a few of you ask me, Izzy, how do you manifest and what's manifesting? And I first want to preface my definition of manifestation so you're not like, oh, manifesting isn't of God, especially if you are very religious. I don't want your ears to go off and be like, oh, well, that's not taught about in my church, so I'm not listening, because manifesting for me is co-creating with God. It's coming to the realization of what you want, an ideal of what you want your life to look like, and taking the steps to help you obtain that and meeting God halfway. When I manifest, I literally envision in my mind exactly what I want to create. And the thing about with the laws of the universe and stuff is that you have to create in a way that's not going to help anyone else, because when you are wanting to create something that's going to harm others, you're no longer pulling from that energy source of the good, and you're pulling from the energy source of the bad. So I just envision exactly what I want to create for myself, and I write it down and I read it every single day. I don't believe with manifesting that you can just write something down 5,000 times, put it under your pillow, go to bed, and wake up and have it. I think that's something else. I do believe in witchcraft and stuff like that, but that's nothing that I do. I'm a follower of God and the light, and when you mess with that stuff, you're getting into the spiritual realm of bad spirits, and that's kind of another topic, but I don't mess with that stuff. So with that being said, I write down exactly what it is that I want to create for my life, and I read it every single day, because the thing about repetition, and when you constantly replay over and over again what you want to create, your brain starts creating new neural pathways that help you identify certain action steps you could take to actually make that into your reality. God can give you certain opportunities in certain circumstances, of course, but everything is not going to be handed to you, because we exist on 3 planes of existence, the spiritual, mental, and physical plane. So it is of our essence to take physical action. So if you go into it with the mindset that you can just sit and pray and hope all day that everything will be handed to you, it absolutely will not, and you will be so disappointed, and you will turn back onto the system and onto God and be like, God, I've been praying for this and I've been asking for this, why aren't you giving it to me? And it's because you have to take physical action. Now, there are some things that are on the smaller scale that I've been able to manifest before, like finding a parking spot. Literally, it's funny. I used to work on the beach at this restaurant called Catch, and there would never be freaking parking there. So every single time before a shift, I'd be like, God, please help me find a parking lot right now. And I literally would envision myself pulling up and finding the perfect parking spot. And every single shift I had, I always found a parking spot. And I do believe that when you bring your energy to a certain level and to a certain frequency, that you attract things of the like nature. So instead of me thinking and stressing, oh no, what if I can't find a parking spot, and envisioning myself not being able to find a parking spot, I envision myself finding the most perfect spot ever and feeling the emotions of what it would be like to have that spot. And that's another thing with manifesting too, is feeling what it is that you desire before you actually have it. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Narrow Knowledge. I watch his YouTube videos. I think he's amazing. And his definition of manifesting is shifting internally to agree into which you no longer depend on your external world to change. And I think that's an amazing way to also put manifestation, because instead of letting the way you feel be reflected of what you have in your hands, you're able to bring yourself to a certain state in your mind that you are attracting things that would actually help you match that state and continue you to be in that state of mind. I've given this example in a few of my videos before, just talking about money. And if you're low on money right now, when you focus on not having money, you're letting your thoughts get into this loop and this feeling of negativity of not having money. So in turn, you are causing and attracting things to come towards you that are going to repeat that same feeling of, oh shit, I have no money. But when you are in the opposing side of that and a constant feeling of abundance, because abundance is all around us. You can take a walk outside and look at the city and look at the abundance of cars and look at the abundance of grass. Like, there is literally abundance everywhere in this universe. And once you start to notice it everywhere around you, you will notice how there is abundance in every single aspect of your life. And you can put this into the aspect of monetary goals in your life. There's abundance everywhere, so why would there not be able to be abundance in my bank account? And obviously it's easier said than done. As I said before, you do need to take physical action. But for me, I read a Think and Grow Rich statement every single day. And I have a statement for this year of what I want to create for myself this year. And as I keep reading this over and over again, not only am I thinking of new ways to actually have this materialize, but the universe and God is meeting me halfway and is bringing me the perfect people that I need to meet, is bringing me the most amazing opportunities that would not have been able to come into my path without the higher power, without help of the higher power. And I think another big part of manifesting too is just bringing yourself to a degree internally into which, again, you no longer depend on your external world to change. Because once you are truly fulfilled and you are living in the present moment, the things that you are wanting to create for your life will come in so much faster, like they truly will. And that's something that I work on with myself, because sometimes, since I like to look out at the future and I like to look at the things that I'm trying to create for my life, I sometimes miss the fact that I'm living in what I used to pray for. And that is something that you can never take for granted. You have to be grateful. I'm sure you guys have seen in so many different manifesting videos and creating things that you want. The first step is being grateful for everything that you already have. Because if you are watching me right now on a TV phone or a laptop, I can already list a few things that you can be grateful for. If you have a family that loves you and you have friends and you live in a healthy body and you can walk and talk, I just gave you so many different things that you could be grateful for. So start there. Start with what you already have, because when you get internally to a degree of which you are so thankful for everything that you already have, God and the universe is going to keep sending you more things to be grateful for. But if you can't be grateful for everything that you already have, why is God going to continue to send you blessings? God has sent you the beautiful gift of life. And if you are just taking that for granted, it's kind of like, well, what else do I have to offer you? You're breathing and you're living right now. I know your circumstances might not be the best right now. And if they aren't, know that they will get better, and shift internally to a degree in which you don't need to see everything change to feel better. You can turn your attention inwards and you can work on yourself to make yourself feel better, because we can't control everything that's going on around us. So if you let everything that's outside of you controlling how you are feeling, you are constantly not going to be happy if you don't see exactly what it is that you want. Because that's the hard truth of life. We're not always going to get everything that we want. And when I talk about manifesting in that you can create anything that you want, sometimes redirection is protection. So sometimes you won't get the thing that you want, but you're going to get better. Because let's say that you're striving for things that are down here and God wants you up here, you're going to keep getting blocked from those things. Someone messaged me and said, can you kind of talk about, I just recently tried to get a job and I didn't get the job and I'm super upset. Like, why did that happen? And the thing is that there's going to be points in your life where you don't get what you want, but a year goes by or a few months go by and you look back and you think, thank God I didn't get that job opportunity, and thank God I didn't get what I thought I wanted, because what God gave me in turn was so much better than I could ever imagine. I'm sure you guys have seen that all the time. Like, God's plans are so much better than my plans, and it's so true. I may have what I think I want in mind, but ultimately God knows what is going to serve me best and what is actually going to be for my highest good. As humans, we operate from our ego. We operate from our flesh and our mind. So sometimes we may be wanting to create things just based off our ego. But God is just love and light, and He is in constant expansion of ourselves and other people around us. So you may think that you want this career, but God's like, no. I want you in this career because you are meant to touch millions of lives and you are meant to help so many people and you don't even know it. So I'm going to keep blocking you from things that are down here because I want you up here. I want you to create something so much bigger, and the only way that you're going to realize that is if I keep blocking you from not getting things that you think you want. You'll never feel obsessed with your life until you become obsessed with yourself. And I'm not saying this in a vain way, but genuinely romanticize your life, because it is your life. You are the main character. If someone says to you, oh, you think you're such a main character, it's like, yes, I am absolutely a main character because I am the one who is living my life. If you are a side, or if you are a backup character in your life right now, I want to tell you that you need to pick up the pen and you need to start rewriting, because you are not just an extra in your life. Your boyfriend shouldn't be the main character. Your friend shouldn't be the main character. Your family, your career. You are the main character, and never ever forget that. Elevate the way that you see yourself. In my last video, I talked a lot about the art of self-image, and the truth is that you are never going to see your external world change fundamentally without first changing the way that you view yourself, because we will always act in the way that we view ourselves and our identity. Our actions will always align with our identity. So if you have an identity of something that is less than what you are striving for, you're going to keep bumping into these walls, because somewhere in your subconscious mind, maybe not consciously, you hold an image of yourself that is not the best, and you are striving to be the best. That's something in my personal life that I had to work on. Was I was striving to be someone else, but I kind of lacked confidence in certain areas. And for me, confidence is a mind state. Sometimes I'm not very confident in how I look, and I'm not very confident about doing these talking videos because it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing. And I literally say to myself, Izzy, you are the main character in your life. It doesn't matter what anyone says. All that matters is how you view yourself. Obviously, don't be a complete crappy person, but it matters how you view yourself, because at the end of the day, we want our own validation. Of course, we care what other people say, but the person's validation who matters the most to us is ourselves. So if you aren't taking the time to love yourself and romanticize yourself, you're never going to be fully happy and fully confident. I am a very confident person, but it takes time to be confident. I used to be very heavy. Like, I used to be very overweight, and I was always like the funny like fat girl, because I had to compensate for my looks with my humor, and that created a lot of insecurity. So even when I started to lose weight, I still had this image of someone who was just this like overweight girl. So even though I didn't look overweight anymore, I was still carrying myself like I was overweight. I wanted to constantly cover my body. I wanted to wear oversized clothing, because in my mind, I had an image of someone who was overweight. And it wasn't until I literally said, Izzy, you gotta snap out of it, and you need to love yourself. You have to love the heck out of yourself more than you're gonna love any other person. And I'm not saying this in a way for you to be cocky, but the person who is going to be around you the most is yourself. And if you don't make your mind state a place where you want to be all the time, you are not going to love your current reality, because you're listening to your thoughts all the time. So if your thoughts are constantly saying you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, like, you're not gonna love yourself. And it's so important to take the time and reflect, what do I want for my life, and how do I want to see myself? Slow down the freaking moment. Take a picture of yourself. Congratulate yourself for how far you have come. If you have made it out of a hard season in your life, don't let yourself get so caught up in what's to come next and forget to acknowledge yourself for everything that you have actually been able to get through. This is something that I've had to implement in my life, because I've had a crazy hard last year. Like, it was literally the craziest year of my life, and I keep striving for more and more, and sometimes I'm kind of like, hold on, I need to take a second and just congratulate myself and sit with myself and love myself, because I'm so proud of me for what I got out of. Because I used to be addicted, and I used to be depressed, I was at the lowest of lows in my life, and I was going down the completely wrong path. And unfortunately for me to snap out of that, my best friend passed away. And after that, it was just a time period of my life where I had to completely find who I was again. And that's important. Find who you are, because it's really easy with the world that we live in, and a lot of us go through a lot of trauma, and it's easy to get lost in who we are. It's so easy. But when you take the time to find yourself and you take that hard work, don't ever forget to congratulate yourself and say, I'm so freaking proud of you, because that takes a lot of work, and a lot of people don't take the time to actually work on themselves the way they need to. So if you took the time to work on yourself and better yourself, don't skip over the fact that you did that. You did that. Like, good job. Like, I'm freaking proud of you, and I don't even know you. So make sure that you are proud of yourself. Take those little moments in and take the time to congratulate yourself and be proud and be grateful, because back to the manifesting thing, it all starts with being grateful. God's going to give you more of what you want when you sit in the moment and you are grateful for everything that you have, and especially for what you have been able to come through and out of. If you take a look at our music industry and the significant decrease it has had on the positivity of its lyrics is honestly kind of scary. Why is it that the most popular music talk about being addicted to drugs, about killing people, about sleeping around with people, being sad, being heartbroken? Why is that the music that is so popular? It makes you wonder. I'm not here to talk about conspiracy theories and things like that, but you gotta kind of have your eye open and take the steps that you can take to control it. Obviously, you can't control the music industry, but you can control what you let yourself listen to. If you have a bad relationship life, what are the rappers that you are letting yourself listen to? If you constantly find yourself depressed and sad, who are the artists that you're listening to? Because if you're listening to freaking Murakami or Suicide Boys or Lil Peep and X, there's a reason that you're so sad, because you are letting these lyrics be put into your mind. You know how a song gets stuck into your head? That happens for a reason. And there's a reason why the music that comes out now is so negative. Like, seriously, rappers get paid more to talk about more negative things. Take the steps and take the power that you actually have to stop listening to music like that. And by no means, do whatever you want. I could care less, but the point of my videos is to help you. And if you know that there are certain areas of your life that you could improve, take the step to stop listening to that garbage. Even when it comes to TV shows and movies, if you're watching horror films all the time, that's a whole other realm. I don't watch horror movies because personally, I think that opens up your energy to different spirits and negative things to happen to you, because I'm not even going to get into it. I don't watch horror movies, and especially super heavy action films and sad movies. If you're letting your attention feed on this, what you focus on, you will attract, and whatever you think about all day, you will inevitably become. So if you're constantly playing these scenarios in your head that are really violent or super sad, you're going to start attracting experiences that reflect those internal feelings that you are having watching those movies and watching those TV shows. And not to mention, it is an absolute waste of time. If you are constantly watching TV shows and movies or scrolling on TikTok and playing video games, why do you feel the need to distract yourself from your current reality so hard that you need to find an escape playing these games or watching these movies? Because none of that is real and none of that is reality. There's no reason that you should really be playing video games for hours and hours on end. And I want to let you know that I have sympathy for you, because I know that the reason that you are doing those things is because you want to distract yourself from your current reality, because you are not happy with your current circumstances. Because let's be real, if you were super happy with your life and super happy with everything going on, you would be like, why the heck would I need to sit and play video games all day? Seriously, take a look at how much time you are giving your screens. Find things that you love to do that are productive, that are going to help build you and mold you into a person that you actually want to be around 24/7 and be in your current reality. Meditate, read, build your character, build a business. If you think about all the time that you spend goofing off or playing video games, what could you have done to create something that would actually create the life for you that you want to live? Every single video I talk about God, and the reason I do this is because God has shown his presence so heavily in my life, especially in this past year, that I feel like it's kind of wrong for me not to talk about this energy force of just pure love and light, because God found me when I was at my worst and when I was at my lowest and when I felt like I couldn't keep going, and just gave me a reminder that I have a purpose. And I want to remind you that you do have a purpose as well. I don't care what you're going through right now. If you're in a super dark and hard chapter of your life, there is more to come and there are better things to come. You could have everything that you want in this life, but if you are missing the spiritual foundation, because we are spiritual creatures, you will always feel like something is missing, and you will never fully be obsessed with your life. You will be obsessed with your life in a superficial way because you are missing the core foundation of who we are. We all come from something of a higher and greater power. And by connecting with this higher and greater power, whatever it is to you, you will see your life change in ways that you could have never imagined before, because we cannot do everything on our own, or we were not meant to do everything on our own. This force, this spiritual force in God exists for a reason and created us all for a reason. I believe as humans, it's our job to come back to our knowing and come back to our awakened truth that we are spiritual beings. And my biggest suggestion for you to work on this connection with the divine is just sit in meditation. I know meditation may look different for everyone, but for me, sitting in meditation is just sitting in the quiet and just being with my thoughts and setting the intention. God, I really want to connect with you right now. God, I've been feeling kind of sad right now, and I just want to feel the presence of your love and your light. So I'm just going to sit here right now, and what I do is I completely clear my mind of any thoughts that I'm having, and I know sometimes that can be difficult. So I literally envision every single breath that I'm taking in and out, every single breath that comes out, I'm letting thoughts and I'm letting worry, and I'm just letting myself sit in that peace and quiet and by myself, because God is within all of us. We all have the ability to turn our attention inwards and onto God and realize that his love is in all of our lives. And I know it's easy sometimes to forget that, but never forget that. You're going to notice that certain things start playing out that are different, and you're going to be like, you know what? There's something that is a bigger force right now helping me out. I'm really grateful for everything that God has to deliver me to recently. He's the one who really has been encouraging me to even start this YouTube channel. I kind of was trying to figure out, like, all right, what are my next steps? This year that I've been through and the things that I have learned in my life recently, like, it's for a reason. I know I'm meant to help a lot of people. I've always felt that I've had a high calling. We all have a high calling, but I've always felt that I'm meant to help a lot of people. And I kind of was just like, God, where do you want me next? Like, what do you want me to do next? And I felt guided to create a YouTube channel. So here we are, 5 videos in on Creality, making this video for you guys. Also, you guys, sorry for this little interruption, but me and my boyfriend have a clothing brand right here, which is the Loom Projects. And as a brand, our mission is to really just illuminate society in the world one garment at a time. We truly and fundamentally believe that it is so important to spread messages of love and light. And that's what we plan on doing with our different products. We have another product on the way and soon to come, and I'm super excited for it. So make sure you follow up with us on the Instagram at Loom Projects. Let's get back to the video. Start paying attention to the synchronicities and signs, because they are all around you all the time. I literally see things happen all the time where I'm like, you know what, that's a sign from God, because that's too big of a coincidence for it to just be a glitch in the matrix. Like, God and the universe is sending me this my way, and it's up to me if I want to pay attention to what God is sending me to be like, you know what, I am on the right path. Like, for me, I see 33 and 44 a lot, and you can look up on your phone, oh, what does angel number 33 or 44 mean? That's funny. It's literally 1033 right now, of course. You could be like, oh, what does this mean? And for me, angel numbers, the meaning that I assign to them is something that I want to assign to it, because once I establish what that number means to me, I know that whenever I see that recurring number, I'm like, you know what, God's trying to tell me this message right now, and I just need to listen to it. So when I see 3, 3, or 4, 4, it's that I'm on the right path, and then I have to keep going, and then I have to keep pushing, because God has got me, and God has got you. God has every single one of us. Confidence in life comes from the knowing that God has you in his hands, even when you don't think that's the truth, and even when you don't know what's coming. God has such a big plan for you. I don't know where you are in your life right now, but I want to let you know that you got to keep going, because something is right around the corner. Keep going, keep pushing, because you never know what's going to be on the other side of that adversity, or what is going to come tomorrow. Keep pushing, keep taking the things that I'm telling you and changing the way that you think in your mind state, because that's a big role that plays into it. Once you start walking with God, you will notice that the way that you used to walk, talk, and think will be completely transformed. So, I always make it a point to talk about God in my videos, because getting to know that force and that love and light has honestly changed my life. And I just want to encourage all of you that God is there for you, and he can also change your life. It doesn't matter who you are. The hardest part about transformation is just taking the first step, because we love to see that things are going to work and be true, because our brain loves comfort and loves to be right. So sometimes when we are stepping out into the unknown, we have no idea what's coming next, so we don't even want to take the first step. But I want to let you know that you got to take that first step. And one of the first steps is identifying what areas of your life do you want to change and what do you want to improve. Because if you don't acknowledge it, nothing's going to change. I love journaling. Literally, if you go into my Instagram, I have a whole bunch of different highlights of journaling. Even in my free resources section, I have different journaling prompts and techniques, because once you identify what it is that you want to change, it becomes so much easier to change it. Where in your life do you feel disconnected or stagnant? What areas could you improve? Literally write it out and see it on a piece of paper and be like, I could change who I hang out around. I could change how hard I'm pushing myself in my career. I could work on my relationship with God. I could work on my confidence levels. Once you are able to see it and be like, yeah, I need to make a change, it makes it 10 times easier to make a change. And the next step is, what little small routines and habits can I change in my life? What does your morning routine look like? What does your nighttime routine look like? Because I just want to let you know that if your day routine looks like waking up, working all day, playing video games, going to bed, waking up, going to work all day, watching TV shows and movies, going to bed, and repeating that cycle over and over again, you're not getting everything that you could get done. And it's really good to take a look at that and call yourself out for it. And if I'm calling you out right now, great. That's a good thing, because I want to let you know that you have so much more potential than that, and you're wasting your life away, especially right now. If you're in your 20s watching this right now, this is the time where you are supposed to be trying everything, where you are supposed to be figuring out what exactly you want to do for your life. I also want to say that if you want to work for someone else and that's your true passion and you believe that's your true purpose, go for it and do it. If you think that your true purpose is to be a school teacher helping children, that's amazing, and I think that is so beautiful. But if you are in a job just because you think you need to be in a job and that's the only way you can make money, I highly encourage you to switch your mindset to something else, because you can create something of your own, and you can create a job or an occupation for yourself that is going to put you in a financial position to not have to work for someone else if that's what you do not want. I know that we all have a purpose, and I know that our purpose is usually greater than we can even conceive. But if you are in this little job mindset and you're like, oh, I need to work at this job because I don't have any other option, you're not going to have any other option. Broaden your horizon, believe in yourself, stop distracting yourself from everything, and change your every single day habits. Becoming obsessed with your life starts with one question. Are you going to stay at where you are right now? Are you going to take different steps to help you get to where it is that you want to be, and to live a life that you actually want to live, and a life that you deserve? Because you deserve so much. The universe and God is in constant expansion, and we are in constant expansion. So it is of our essence to want to be better, strive for more. And as I've said before, it's great to be grateful for where you're at and grateful for everything that you already have, but that doesn't mean that you can't strive for more. Everything is a constant expansion, and never feel like you're in competition with others or they're a lack of, because you will be operating from a frequency and a mindset of lack, because there is absolutely no lack. Don't ever think that there's not enough to go around, because there's absolutely enough to go around. And if there isn't enough of what you want, it will be created. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else that I'm going to say in this video matters. You have to believe in yourself more than anyone else will, because you are going to have haters. You're going to have people who are going to say you're not going to be able to do it. But all that matters is that you believe in yourself. Because when I get into states of confidence and really believing in myself, I notice the way that I think, act, and move is completely different than when I'm in self-doubt and, oh, I don't know if I should be doing that. Like, I don't really know if it's going to work. I act completely different. And when you're operating from the mindset of, I can do anything that I want, you will be able to accomplish so much more because you believe in yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, because sometimes if you haven't gotten much approval, either from your outer world or people around you, it's easy to be like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, but you can do it. I want to let you know that you can do it. The most successful people in the world believed in themselves more than anyone else did, and you can do the same exact thing. Train your brain to believe in yourself. If you want to tell yourself, oh, I just don't believe in myself, then you're not going to believe in yourself. But if you start telling yourself over and over again, I believe in myself, I can do this, I can do this, your brain is going to start accepting this as truth. Our mind has been programmed with certain beliefs that we have picked up from childhood, but you can train your brain to think differently, and you can reprogram your mind by putting different thoughts and beliefs into your mind over and over again. You are going to start planting these seeds into your mind. So those thoughts of self-doubt and insecurity are going to slowly start dissipating from your mind, because guess what? They were replaced with thoughts of, I believe in myself and I know I can do this. You are put into this life for a reason. You are existing right here, right now, in this moment for a reason. The reason that you have visions for your life is because God is giving you these visions. God is telling you, I have such a big plan and such a big purpose for you. So when you feel yourself being pulled to create something super big and bigger than yourself, be scared by it. Be like, holy crap, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do this, because God is putting it in your heart for a reason. You are being pulled to start creating for a reason. And if this is the sign that you've been looking for, that it's time to take your first step, it is time to take your first freaking step to creating the life that you want, and start designing and creating a life that you are absolutely obsessed with. Because as I said before, you deserve to live a life that you are absolutely obsessed with like no other, and not in a weird cocky way, in a way of, I'm genuinely grateful to be alive, because you should be grateful to be alive right here, right now, in this moment, because you are existing right here, right now, in this moment. Never think that you are too small to make a difference, because you are not too small to make a difference. The people who have made a difference in the world are not any different than me or you. They believed in themselves more. Never forget the true power that you have, and know that if you are wanting to create things in a certain way, if it gets blocked or something else comes into your path, trust it. The universe and God wants the best for you, and never ever forget that. So when things come into your life that you weren't expecting, have a faith of knowing that, you know what, even if I don't like this situation right now, it's coming to me for a reason. So I can take this situation and be sad about it, or I can take this situation and run with it and know ultimately it is either shaping and molding me to deliver me to my purpose, or it is teaching me something that I needed to learn right now in this moment. Get super clear and intentional with what you want to create for your life. What do you want for your life? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to strive for? And start taking those small steps that could help you gap the bridge of who you want to be and where you want to be and where you are right now, and bring it together and mesh that into your current reality and your current circumstances, because you have the capability to create your own reality, and never ever forget that. So with that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next Friday. Mwah. Bye.